Well, if you're thinking about selling or buying a home, a lot has changed because of the new National Association of Realtors settlement. So we're here with broker associate Cyndy Tomassetti of Engel and Volkers to explain those changes and how those rule changes might affect how you buy and sell a home. So great to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
You too. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course. I'm so glad you're here too, because when stuff like this happens, it can be so confusing. So what has changed exactly regarding this new settlement?
So as of August 17th, two major rule changes have gone into effect. What it hasn't changed is real estate agents are still going to be paid for their services.
Right.
They're not going to work for free. What also hasn't changed is commission payments to real estate agents, still negotiable, has always been negotiable, will remain negotiable. But here are the two main changes. And the first one is, if you are selling a house and you are using the services of a real estate agent, you may no longer show what the compensation to a buyer's agent will be in the multiple listing service, also known as the MLS. The second change is that if you are engaging in the services of a real estate agent to help you buy a property, if you want to tour a property, you must have a written representation agreement in place before you tour any of those properties.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, even if you're going to tour them via video.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about the difference then between buying and selling right now.
Sure.
So if someone is thinking about selling, what do they need to know?
So if you're selling, nothing's really changed except for the fact that you cannot display compensation in the MLS. So that needs to become a conversation that your agent has with other agents if they want to find out what the compensation is. So they can call, they can write, they can advertise, you can spray paint it on a cow and walk it down Phillips Highway. It just cannot go in the multiple listing service.
I see.
And multiple listing service is a database that is used in a particular area that shows not only the homes that are for sale by agents, but it's also a resource that agents who are looking for that perfect home for their buyers go to find out what's for sale. So that's going to be the change for home sellers.
Okay, what about buyers?
So for buyers, like I said, they have to have a buyer's representation agreement in place before they see a house. So to break it down, let's say if you like to go to a lot of open houses on weekends, keep doing that. You do not need a buyer's representation agreement in place.
Okay.
However, if you decide, hey, I love this house and I want to bring my significant other back to look at it, I want to measure, then you need to engage in the services of an agent, and then you have to enter into an agreement.
Okay.
Here's the thing with these agreements. I think they're good because it's transparency. You're going to see how your agent gets paid, how much they get paid. You're going to agree upon that and know that these agreements can be modified. They can also be canceled. So it's not like
So you're not locked in necessarily.
you're not locked in. It gives you a chance to get to know your agent better and to see how the process unfolds. And know that, like I said, it's always negotiable. I just had a sale, I have a sale in process right now where the seller had to net a certain amount from the sale of her property, and the buyer only had so much to pay for that property. The buyer's agent and I, we wanted to bring this sale to fruition. We wanted it to happen. So what we had to do is we negotiated our commission down.
Oh, wow.
Of course, with the permission of the seller. So the seller got what she needed and the buyer got what they needed. So again, it's always been negotiable.
Wonderful.
So this is something to always ask about when you're going through the process.
Right. And so if someone wants more information on this specifically, where should they go?
On this specifically, if you're in Florida, floridarealtors.org, great resource. You can look at all these forms. You can get these forms from your agent, but you can also look at these forms. You can look at the details about how this is rolling out. Secondly, you can go to realestatecommissionfacts.com and you can find out all about the settlement. So if you're going through the process, just be educated and know what's available to you. Don't be scared. I think that this transparency will only be good for consumers. The other thing is we are all using the same documents and forms all throughout the state of Florida. So we're singing off the same piece of music. And I think that eventually this will be good for consumers.
Okay, wonderful. Well, if someone needs an agent, how can they get in touch with you?
They can go to Cyndy cyndy.tomassetti, Tomassetti, at evusa.com.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and kind of breaking that down for us.
Thank you.
Of course. And if you'd like to see this interview again, you can go to First Coast News Plus, but be sure to watch Home Connect TV on 7 days a week with hundreds of homes for sale on the First Coast.